Hello YouTube, this is Bonnie, and today we're going to have a look at my tarot collection again, and this will be video number 10. So this is going to be just a few decks. I've got 4 decks, and I'm going to put it in the category of my Squiggle art decks. And they're all by one creator, Mary Elizabeth Evans. And her shop on Etsy, where you can get these decks, is called Spirit Speak Tarot. So I just checked, and all of these decks are still available if you're interested. They range from the excuse me, $43 to $48 price range. And she's out of Joshua Tree, California, I believe. So I'm from California, so I know Joshua Tree very well. So the first one is going to be her Apparition Tarot deck. And this has been out for a little while. Excuse me, not years and years and years. But I love the whimsical art. These are very kind of eclectic kind of decks. All of her decks. I don't think they hand anything to you. You really have to kind of internalize, reflect, and you've got to work a little bit. At least I do for some of these. Sometimes the messages come quick and sometimes they don't. And this one is her, it's a larger size tarot deck. The other ones are quite small and kind of more bridge size or poker size. But this one is large. Nice 2-piece box. Very, very sturdy. Thumb cutouts. And you can see the colors in this one. And that's the inside of the box. And I love the teal blue. Can we talk about how beautiful these backings are? Little cherubs in this kind of teal, I don't know, blue or celery green. It's kind of a combination of the two, but it's beautiful. We'll take a look at the book in just a second. But so these cards are edged in gold. Let's see if I can get in just a little bit more. It's not a matte gold. It's that metallic-y gold that I hope will wear nicely. I haven't had these decks too long, but I'm hoping it'll wear very, very nicely. I've seen like some of the mass market gold edging, doesn't wear as nice, but some of the indie decks do with age. So I'm hoping that will happen with this. So here is a first look at the cards. The Fool. And you can see what I mean by squiggle abstract art. There are humanoid pictures, but there's a lot of hands and long fingers in these decks. So I'll just kind of flip through them really, really quickly so you can kind of get a look at them. But they're very, very, very... I love this one. I love the High Priestess. The cardstock is a very, very matte cardstock. Not super thick, but sturdy. It's a very nice cardstock. Those of you who riffle shuffle will be able to do so. It's nice and matte, but not like flimsy paper by any means. The Empress, the Emperor, and this is her one colored tarot deck. Her other ones are black and white, but there's lots of color. Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. I know this deck is out there. It's fairly popular, more maybe with a cult-like following. I know it's one you don't see a lot. I guess it depends on who you follow on Instagram or YouTube. But it, you know, it's not totally obscure, but yet it's not, you know, one of the mass popular decks. But I love this deck, the Hanged Man. And I love, love, love this death card. So I'm kind of going through them quickly so you can get an idea of the cards, so that you can see if it's something in your wheelhouse. Just kind of get this artist's aesthetic. I just posted a video of my Danielle Noel decks, and here's another artist that I have several of her decks, so that's why I decided to go through it this way, because you could do it in a grouping. The Moon. So you know, you can see there is some RWS symbology, and then there is not. It's kind of like its own thing. She's definitely put in her own interpretations and her own artistic vision. The World. It's a beautiful Ace of Pentacles. The Two. Yeah, she's definitely put her own spin on things, and I love that. It just, you know, adds to the arsenal. Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. So from this image, you can definitely get a Five of Pentacles, RWS, you know, meaning. And the same with this, the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. I love the question mark. The Eight. So you can see very few fully illustrated human figures. I think it's her other two decks that have more of the, well, her trademark is kind of the long fingers, and like you get some legs and some arms, but well, there you get a full figure. For the Knight of Pentacles, checking all the boxes. The Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. The Three of Wands. So you see that the wands are candlesticks or candles. Five of Wands. I love this Five of Wands. So it's a very, very whimsical, non-threatening deck. It's not hugely dark. I find the readings are very neutral, if that makes sense. And it's good for, I've had it work for every type of reading I've done, I think. Yeah. Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands. So if you like abstract art, this is something definitely to look at. The Ten of Wands. Beautiful page. I love the use of color, and there is a lot of white space in this deck. I just love this. Her artwork challenges me as a reader. It's something, I think, my inkling is to go to fully illustrated deck, but I gravitate towards this type of artwork, or I am now, because I'm thinking, you know, as I progress as a reader, I want things that challenge me. Not necessarily, you know, there are some decks that are too far out there for me that I have not connected with for whatever reason. There haven't been too many, really. But I love decks like this that the artist puts, or the creator puts their own spin on things with meanings and the artwork, and it just, you know, it helps you grow as a reader. And I first became aware of this deck and this artist. This is the Five of Swords, by the way. Do you see? I just love this. By the channel here on YouTube, Onyx, Onyx Healing. And in fact, I'll do a video. Someday I'm going to do an on-camera video of how, you know, my tarot journey. But she had a lot to do with it. I was just scrolling on YouTube and I came across her monthly tarot reading for my sign. I'm a Pisces. She may have used this deck, or it was another deck. But anyway, she uses a lot of decks in her monthly readings, and Oracle and several tarot decks at a time. And her reading that I saw for the first time just was, she hit it out of the park. It was everything I was going through, everything that was going on. And it was a general reading too on YouTube. This is the Ten of Swords, by the way. And yeah, it was just, and I actually I watch her readings every month because I am just floored at even, I'm not sitting in front of her, but for the most part the readings are highly accurate. So I would encourage you to go check her out. Onyx Healing. She also has a podcast, Sunday Messages. She goes by the Reverend, she's the Reverend Sydney Finn, Finn, I think. But on YouTube she's Onyx Healing, and I believe on Instagram she's Onyx Healing. King of Swords, and now we're into the Cups, and look how beautiful that is. I love the matte. You know, with I have so many glossy cards, you know, that I just love me a good matte cardstock and matte artwork. Super matte. Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. The Five of Cups. The Six, the Seven, the Eight, the Nine, the 10, and do you see the two images in here leaning in for a kiss? Can you see that? I just love that. This looks like a gummy bear or Care Bear. Page of Cups. That's why I love it. The Knight of Cups. Very minimalistic in some aspects, and then you've got the full color. And I just love the mixed artwork in here. Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. All right, so this is the Apparition Tarot. And do you see that inside of the box? It's just beautiful. Production quality is beautiful, and it is a thought-provoking deck. The book is a little white book. You do get pictures, black and white pictures, but this is a nice paper, a very nice, it's semi-gloss paper, I would say. So it just goes into a little introduction and it heads straight on into the cards, and I don't think there's any spreads or anything. But just to give you, okay. Four of Pentacles. Fear meets the monetary, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Does it really matter what you have if you are constantly clutching it for dear life? You are not ready to open up. This can feel stiff and rigid. What would happen if you released your grasp? So, pretty RWS, but again, beautiful production, and this book it is pretty bare bones, but I am glad that it does have, you know, a picture of the card, albeit black and white. But I love this deck. Highly recommend if this is kind of in your wheelhouse. The next would be her Spirit Speak deck. And as you can see, as far as size, this is more, and this isn't traditional tarot size, as you can see, my small hands. And you can see what the artwork looks like. This is more of like the squiggle art that I was telling you about. But look at the nice roses. This is all black and white deck. Just plain black. There is a little teeny tiny guidebook. And it's written, it's handwritten. It does have a picture of the cards. And if you hear music in the background, I apologize. My husband got a new turntable and he's he's excited about it. So yeah, he just decided to play with it now. So, but I'm not going to stop. I hope it's not too distracting. But yes, you can see handwritten, and I love that personal touch in this deck. So just to give you a little, I don't know if we'll go through all of these. Now these cards are a gloss, a little, they're glossy, not super glossy, sticky. They slide very nice. They don't stick to one another. But you can see that they are a nice little pocket, or like maybe the size of a tarot in a tin, or bridge, or poker sized. So we'll just go through some of these really quick so you could see. Since this is a smaller deck, I'll go in a little bit closer. The Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess. And you know what I like to use with my readings is a combination of, like, I'll use a regular size tarot deck or larger tarot deck. I'll mix with, you know, different size oracle cards. And some of these smaller decks I'll use as clarifiers if I need to. And you can see the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant. Oh, and look at these beautiful backs. Just very simple, minimalistic, squiggle art. The Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit. I just love her interpretation of the cards. The Wheel of Fortune. And even though this is just a black and white deck, it's very impactful. The Hanged Man, Death, Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment. See the hands, the World, Ace of Cups, and again, here are the hands. It's like a signature in her artwork with the long fingers. Some people I know who've reviewed her artwork, they say it creeps them out a little bit, but I love it. And now we are into the cups, and that's the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups. So just giving you a little bit of a taste, because the next tarot deck is kind of similar, so you can see the Eight of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because we've got 2 other decks to go through, but you get the gist. So this is the Spirit Speak Tarot, and I'm going to now quickly go to her Divina. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Tarot deck. But again, it's another black and white. You see the kind of paint drops. An example of the artwork in here. And it says, it tells you they were made in Franklin, Tennessee and Seattle, Washington in 2016. So I kind of like that. And the Spirit Speak she did in Oakland, California in 2014. So I kind of like those little personal touches that she does. And this does have, it's black and white, but she does have some artwork in there. It's the little white book. It's the main cover on the box, and it is the back of the cards. So again, you get a picture of the card and printed. This one is a printed handbook. So basically she just goes through, no spreads in her guidebooks, but she just goes right into the cards. Very, very basic, but you know. So I know there's a lot of you that don't even bother to look at the guidebooks. I always do. Now this cardstock with this deck, okay, look at the backs, is matte, whereas in the other one it was glossy. So this is a matte, more in line with the Apparition Tarot. Now these are the exact same size. See that the artwork in the Spirit Speak is a little more, the black is a little bit more vibrant. In the Divina, it's more matte and faded, more gray than actual black. I'm sorry, I got these out of order. I thought I had put them all in order, but I did not. So you can get a glimpse, though, of a good... So that's the Eight of Pentacles. This is the Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. Very cute. And here again, her trademark with the long arms and the fingers. The Star. The Moon. The Nine of Swords. I love it. The Five of Cups. The Emperor. So she's put in all this symbology in the card without a lot of people. The Three of Pentacles. The Three of Wands. Again, that hand. The Four of Wands. The Five of Wands. There is Death. Temperance. A little bit non-traditional here. The Devil. I just, some of these artists, I wonder what's in their mind, how they start creating this. It's just, I would, love to meet, a tarot artist like this, or any kind of artist. Because I have no drawing ability, I am just amazed about, the talent to create, any piece of artwork. I do sew, but I wouldn't say, I'm a proficient. I'm not producing. I do make clothes that I wear. I've made some jeans. But I wouldn't, I'm not making like couture quality clothing, but definitely things that I feel good about wearing in public. But I have to work hard at it. It doesn't come natural to me. Reading directions, I'm a very visual learner, and you have to show me. Sometimes, like sewing directions, I'd sooner learn Sanskrit or Chinese or something. Sometimes that's what directions look like to me on a page. So yeah, I have to work at it. But things that come out of people's head like this is just amazing to me. Here's a 7 of Pentacles. So you can see there's a similar and yet different, it's done by the same artist, but they do have a different vibe. And I do use these as clarifying cards, and also when reading with Lenormand, I like, if I want to do a Lenormand and tarot combination, these cards are wonderful. Particularly because one big thing, because of the size, but also they're just different. And really, these are the kind of artwork where you can really let your intuition work for you. All right, so we've got one more deck to show you by Mary Elizabeth Evans, and it's an oracle deck. She has 3 oracle decks, 2 of which I do not have. I would like to get in the future, but we all have a long list of decks, and we can't buy everything all at once. We have to prioritize. And what I find is that I have, it's like Kickstarter, the bane of my existence, it's like a new Kickstarter that I have to have. So I back that, and then something that's available now on my wish list has to be put on the back burner. And there's some decks that I'm very sad that's happened to, like the Pagan Otherworlds, but I am determined to get it. I'm hoping in the next few weeks. Okay, so this is the one oracle, one of, I believe, 3 oracle decks that she has. This is the one I have. I do not have 2 of them. One is called Iris, and I'm sorry, the name of the other one escapes me. But this one I got because it pairs so well with the Apparition Tarot deck. And you see how the artwork, and this was designed in Oakland, California in 2015. But it's very, very whimsical, and it is a magnetic closure, which I really like. And it's, look at that. How could you not love the pink and the pink hearts? It does have a little white book, literally, and the very little is in way of description, which is good, I find, with an oracle deck in some ways. Again, let your intuition run wild. It just gives you a little, kind of a little nudge, but and then that's all it is. I don't believe there's any, no spreads, but I like the handwriting in this. Again, it's all handwritten, so it's a nice little personal touch, as long as you can read it, right? And her writing is legible. So a quick look at the cards. It's not a big chunky deck. I can't even remember how many cards are in here, but it's not a 50, I don't think it's even a 50 card deck, maybe 42. So this is Abundance, and this one does have color, just like, that's why it goes so well with the Apparition Tarot. Anxiety, Begin, Birth, Boundaries, And this does work fabulous. Oh, let me show you the beautiful backs. They're very groovy deck. Boundaries, change, childhood, and the descriptions, you know, the name of the cards are handwritten, which I like. Works with this. Choice, communication, connect, defeat, endurance, fear, fire, forgive, freedom, grieve, healing. It gets better. And there's her signature hands. Light, love, make, move on. So easily said, and in some cases it's very hard to do. Movement, power, release. Again, love this card. Rest, romance, self-care, and how many of us are taking the time that we have it, whether wanted or not, to do this? A little bit of time to maybe indulge a little bit. Self-doubt. Now I find this to be a very impactful card. Spirit. Structure. Support. Trust. Truth. And that is, I think yes, that was the last one. I put them in order. So it's not a horribly chunky deck, and there's maybe 42 cards in here. It's not a 50 or 60 card deck, as you can see, but it is very impactful, and it reads wonderfully with all the other decks that Mary Elizabeth Evans has done. So this is a look at my, what I call my squiggle decks. Not traditional imagery by any means. Oh, they do have, in some cases, some symbology put in the artwork, but kind of her doing her own thing, which I really, really appreciate. You know, sometimes decks can be just very much, you know, you've had so many RWS clones, you know, so I appreciate when an artist ventures out to do something a little bit different. So these are decks done by Mary Elizabeth Evans, the Apparition, the Divina, Vessel, and the Spirit Speak. And she does have 2 more oracle decks, which I will get sometime in the future. But those 2, it's not the Iris, but the other one has a very, very different look from the rest. And I wish I had that one, but I don't, to show you. So let me know, what did you think? Do you have any of these decks? How do they read for you? And if you don't, is it something that you think, you know, you might want to explore? Again, her Etsy shop, and I'm really bad, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at putting links at the bottom, you know. I find that they don't work out. I'm just so not tech savvy, and it's something I need to improve upon. But when it all comes down to it, you just want to see the cards, right? Am I right? So I try to give you the best look-see at the cards so you can see, and I try to describe the cardstock, because that's important to me, and that's what I look for in videos. You know, all the other, I mean, people do some wonderful things on their channel. They're very entertaining with the intros and outros, and spot on editing, and I'm just not there yet. So instead of holding off, I'm putting out these videos just so you can see the cards. And someday I hope to learn all that fancy stuff, but I'm filming on my phone, not a fancy camera, because I have other interests also. I have my tarot study. I love to sew. I do some junk journaling, and I'm starting to explore, you know, decoupage and collage as a artwork media, creative outlet for me. So I have some, you know, I love to read. So, you know, trying to make time for all the things we like to do, right? So let me know what you think. So her store is Spirit Speak Tarot on Etsy. Her name is Mary Elizabeth Evans. I am so happy to have these decks in my collection, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, tell your friends about this channel if it's in your vibe. It's nothing fancy. You get a look at the cards. So hoping you all are safe and happy and you're thriving, and until next time with another look at my deck collection or a new deck. This is Bonnie with Old Soul Mermaid, and I will see you really soon. Have a wonderful, blessed day.